Please record in cloud.
Yes, I've done it. Let me see, I can do that.
That's fine. You've just started, so we will start the program.
Yes, you continue.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay.
Start.
Thank you, Brother Pradeep Mahapatra. We had a serious technical disconnect problem, whatever you call it. Anyways, but again, we will be doing a very good talk by our very dear sister, Dr. Rachna Srivastav ji. And I think this topic which we are discussing on, and we are going to listen to her from her, education, value education in light of theosophy. I think she's the best speaker on this topic because I've got a beautiful background of her, which I will introduce. Before that, let us sit in silence and do the universal invocation. And then I will introduce to all of you our dear speaker. O hidden life, vibrant in every atom. O hidden light, shining in every creature. O hidden love, embracing all in oneness. May each who feels himself as one with thee know he is also one with every other. Come back. I'm really excited to introduce Dr. Srivastav ji. I've met her quite a lot of times and I've heard her online, offline, personally. So she has a beautiful and a huge background. I'm sorry I had to cut her huge background to a short note so that our audience would get the gist of it. I'm sorry if I have, cut down some of your important features, ma'am. But let me just read out. Okay.
You have introduced me. You have given my that itself is fine. I am here to speak, and that's all. I believe you don't need to.
No. Still, I would like to say that your background in education as a professor of political science, as you have contributed in publishing 3 books, and you have also contributed to the 7 books for beautiful chapters as an articles, 20 radio talks, and 75 national and international seminars. More than that, the recent one where you worked on skill and value development of students in varieties of designing, speaking, certificate course in aerobics, yoga, value-added courses, and theosophy. I think this is what speaks a lot about you. How passionate are you towards value education and education as a wholesome thing? And I'm really glad to say that you have raised 2 beautiful daughters who are contributing to the nation at a very high level. And glad to know that one of your daughter is a doctor and serving as a captain in the Indian Army. This speaks how you raised your own daughters and the students you have taught to grow up and serve the country with the same passion you as an educationalist have done. Okay, so that is it about you, ma'am. And the topic is all yours. The whole show is all yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your kind words, Subhralina ji. And in fact, when Brother Pradeep Mahapatra ji asked me, and we were talking about as to what should be the topic of today's our discussion, our deliberation, then this topic automatically came to my mind. Reason being that today we find that there is a dearth of values among everybody, not only youth, but among everybody. So I felt that while we are situated in the very pious campus of Theosophical Society, which itself was established by Dr. Reni Besant, and it has such a positive vibes flowing around the campus that anybody who visits the campus mentions this to me. So first of all, we must know as to why and what of this topic. What is value education, why it is required, and how it can be imparted. Being an educator, being associated with the education sector for the past more than 35 years, I have seen our first batch and our latest batch of students. While our first batch was certainly more respectful, more dedicated, more committed, more disciplined, and more keen on attending classes, taking things seriously. And now I find that all these characteristics, which we once thought that they are natural to a student, they cannot no longer be seen amongst girls. In fact, we can make a distinction between pre-COVID behavior of students, of youth, and post-COVID behavior. Nowadays, what we see is that students are more busy with themselves. They are busy with their mobiles, they are busy with their affairs. So they are playing for themselves, not for the college they are attending, not for the family they are part of, and not for the community in which they are staying. And then we see the decay in our ecosystem, our physical ecosystem, our mental, emotional, every kind of ecosystem, we see that there is a degeneration. So it is quite natural that we should worry about value education. We should think about imparting some very basic values to our youth. When I was a student, we used to have an RME class, that is religious and moral education class. It used to be once every week, and it used to be the last period of, I believe, Friday or Saturday. And in that class, teacher would come and she would narrate some stories to us, which used to have some moral teaching for us, for some moral message for us. And we used to listen to it, and it had a huge impact on our minds. At least I still remember those stories. And as I was in a Christian missionary school, I remember that we were taught that we receive to give. We were taught that just as the prayer of that we had in the beginning tells us that if you see yourself one as with God, then you must see others too with one with you. And we were also taught that the behavior that you want from others for yourself, the same behavior you should have with others also. So these teachings, these messages have stayed with me, and they have helped in shaping whatever I have today. And I see that we are not able to give the same teaching to our students, because now I see that in, at least in higher educational institutions, we do not have such religious and moral education classes, and there is a taboo when we talk about religion. Whereas we all know that one of the basic element of theosophy is to encourage the study of comparative religion, philosophy, and science. Dr. Annie Besant, as you all must be knowing, that she believed that every child should be taught his or her religion. Only then he or she will be able to respect the religion of others. But what we have done in independent India is that we have made religion something about which we should not talk. It is something which makes us like parochial. But we must remember that our values are in a way based in our religion. Values have three bases. One is intuition, which you can call conscience also. Other is utility. When you do something right and you get good result, then you see that with the practice, with utility, you see that when I speak truth, it in the long run brings happiness. We all know, we say that if you lie once, then you have to speak many other lies to support that one lie. So it is better not to lie, to speak the truth. So with utility, we see that things that bring happiness to us, they are they should be practiced, and things that bring pain, they should be shunned. And the third basis of value is religion. Religion brings us together, it binds us together. Today's religion has lost its meaning. We all know what dharma used to mean. Dharma means dharan karna, whereas today's religion means having some sets of ideas and trying to force those sets of ideas on others too. We have lost that tolerance that used to be there in religion, that religion used to teach us. The stories in Panchatantra, the stories of Ramayana, the stories of Bhagavad Gita, the stories of our great sages, they used to give us a message, whether it was Dadhichi, whether it was the story of Ram, whether it was the story of Bali. All these stories used to bring some message to us. And today, we find that that aspect of education is missing. This is why it is necessary that we again introduce religious and moral education in our higher education institutions also. Because in schools, I believe that moral science classes are there and the students have some book also. But then the knowledge is limited to books only, to exams only, to clearing the exam. I have also taught my children moral science from their books. I have asked them to write answers and questions and all. But it is limited to books only. What about moral teaching in the real sense? And this is why, as Lina ji was saying, that we have introduced in our college some courses which can bring our students closer to values. And one of these courses is value education, value teaching through theosophy. And this course we have been running for the past 6 years. It is a 30 credit course, and about 300 students have been trained by this course. It's a certificate course. We give students a certificate also. And we find that our students take this class quite seriously. And Shikhar ji and Narayan ji or Madam Uma Bhattacharya ji, they have all taken the classes and imparted some knowledge, some enlightenment to our students. So, education, as Mrs. Besant used to say, must be founded on a knowledge of the past of the country as well as on its present. And the same we are trying to do in VKM. We are trying to bring tradition and modernity together. Being modern doesn't mean that we forget our values, our traditions, and we give up all of them. So the sole purpose of human life, which is spiritual emancipation, should be the goal of any higher education institution. And with this idea, at least we have been trying to train our students. The basic element of education in Theosophy, if we look at them, then we find that it promotes teaching of values of universal brotherhood. This is very important. Right now, you see that even in G20, we have this motto of universal brotherhood. One earth, one family, one future. The whole earth is one family and we have one future. We cannot leave anybody. We have to take everybody together. So that is universal brotherhood. And our college song, Kulgeet, is resonates this feeling. And when I hear this Kulgeet, I am filled with a lot of emotions because it says that सभी में अपने आप को देखना, वसुधैव कुटुंबकम, that spirit has to be in every student of our time, not only of VKM. Then again, one other basic element of education in Theosophy, which we must try to bring into our system, is Sarvadharma Samabhav. I was talking about that only earlier, that all religions should be given their due place. No religion is bad. No religion teaches intolerance. So, Sarvadharma Samabhav, and the other value which is very important and which is losing its place today is Satyanaste Parodharma. There is no religion higher than truth. Mrs. Besant dedicated her whole life to the quest for truth. She left London, came to India, and here she continued her quest for truth. So, Satyanaste Parodharma, if Gandhi ji also was an stickler of truth, he also emphasized that we should not leave the path of truth, path of righteousness. What is happening is that truth is quite an outdated element today. Somebody who says that one should speak truth is now mocked upon. And the person is seen as if he is from some another planet. So, students, youth must understand that there is no religion higher than truth. They should have their trust in truth. Then, education as service. This also must have to be inculcated among our students. And then self-realization. जब हम अपने आप को जानते हैं, जब हम स्वयं को पहचानते हैं, तभी हम दूसरों को भी पहचान पाते हैं। तो सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन, मैं और हम का जो भेद है उसको समाप्त करना। जब हमको ये पता चलेगा कि मेरे अंदर जो भगवान है वही सामने वाले के अंदर भी है, तो जैसा हम लोग कहते हैं, क्या we will hurt that person, we will injure that person? No, we won't do that. We don't hurt ourselves, we don't injure ourselves. So it is very important that our youth, our humanity should know that there is one God which resides in all. So these are some important elements of values, of you can say that important elements of education in theosophy, and these are the values that we have to pass on to our students. So we have been talking about values a lot, but what do we mean about with values? What does it mean when we say value? What kind of values we are talking about? Usually, when we talk about social moral values, then it means that there are certain principles which tell us what is right and what is wrong. What is right and what is wrong for us and for the community, and which have a potential to make individual and community life better. Also, value means Tattvamasi. There is one life in all. It means awakening the consciousness. It means to stand for truth. It means dutifulness. So when we talk about values, all these words come to our minds: truth, duty, respect, empathy, something which can make our life better, our community's life better, which brings happiness to all of us. So when we say values, we see all these words standing in front of us, and that we have to now bring our students, our youth, closer to these ideas, to these words. How we can do that? How we can bring them closer to all these values? So what is the meaning of value education? Value education can be said to be the form of education which endeavors for moral and spiritual development of life values. See, what we have been doing for the past several years in our education system, that we are making our students ready for employability. We are teaching them how to earn livelihood, but we are not teaching them life skill, how they should live life, what should they do when they enter the society. Earlier, when it was annual educational system, annual system in degree, BA and MA, then we teachers used to have time and teach our students about life skills. Even I used to have so many sessions with our students where we would be talking about how they can become a better person. How it is not that important to have good marks, whereas it is more important to be a good person, so that when you stand in front of the mirror and look at yourself, you do not have any regret, that you can look into your eyes and you find that whatever you have done in life has been in the interest of the community, in the interest of all. So earlier we used to have time for that, but now with semester system, we have lost that, because now we race to finish the syllabus, to have assignment, to have tests, and then examination, evaluation. So we are shutting everything. We are busy with admission and evaluation. Round the year, we are doing this only. So what is happening? That we are not able to bring our students closer to the practical life education, which can teach them life values, life skills, how to face a difficult situation. A person should be able to tackle difficult situations. This is the responsibility of the education system, to enable someone, to help the person so that he or she is able to tackle difficult situation with ease. So education which shapes a person's conduct and behavior based on values, that is value education. Then value-based education lays emphasis on the personality development of individuals. Today, what we do, we teach them a few subjects, but we are not focusing on the all-round development of the personality, which Mrs. Besant used to emphasize upon. If you read her articles on education in The Birth of New India, you will find that her idea of education was all-round development, that education should be given in native language, that examples of biology or chemistry or mathematics should be from local system. She also emphasized that Indian children should be taught about Shivaji and other heroes, not about the European, British or other heroes. Because only then they will be able to identify themselves with those characters. Mrs. Besant's education system was so effective that nowadays when I see NEP, I find that in NEP also all these things have been included, teaching in local language, mother tongue, and all-round development. And for that, you can choose any subject from philosophy to physics to dance, anything. She also talks about the education of women, and when she talks about education of women, she insists that women, girls should be ready for the task they will be embarking upon after finishing the school. And yesterday there was one news piece in the paper that BHU is going to introduce one such kind of course where mainly girl students will be prepared for their life ahead. After they finish their studies, they come to the society, they enter the society, and they will be taught many life skills that they would be needing in that phase. Although today a feminist would jump to the conclusion that this is something very discriminatory, and even boys should learn as to how to cook, how to manage home and all. And there's no harm in that. Boys and girls all can be taught to respect whatever they are doing. Cooking is also a job. And you see that in hotels, mostly chefs are men. So cooking is something which is very respectable, and girls and boys all should know to respect the labor. Not only respect individual, but respect the labor. This value too has to be imparted to our students. Value education has one more aspect. It develops physical and emotional aspects, and it develops a sense of brotherhood. So you can see that value education is something which nurtures a personality, which nurtures a child, and helps him or her grow into a mature human being who is useful for the society. And what we see today is that this kind of whole generation is we are losing sight of this kind of generation. We do not find children, we do not find youth, or even people grown up like us. We are losing all these kinds of values. And this is why there is need of value education. It develops the personality of a person. It inculcates manners and a sense of responsibility and cohesiveness, which is very important today. In today's society, cohesiveness and cooperation are two important values that the whole humanity should be having. Not only that the youth is required to have it, then respect for all, and one very important value that has to be ingrained in our system, in ourselves, is democratic way of thinking. We usually are not ready to hear to the ideas of others. We have lost the patience to listen to others. We are very eager to speak. So we should learn this art of keeping silent and listening, not only to others, but to ourselves. We can call it democratic way of thinking, where everybody has a right to speak. Then when there is a democratic way of thinking, there will be tolerance and understanding for all religions. And the things that are happening around us all the time, I believe if we inculcate in our youth this tolerance, understanding, democratic way of thinking, then it will surely not happen that frequently. Also, when we talk to our students, I have about 2,000 students in the college, and there are 300 girls residing in the hostel. When we interact with them, we find that many of the girls lack self-confidence. They express their concern about it and say that they feel low in confidence, and also they talk about how they are not able to concentrate, and how they are not able to manage time. So when we interact with them, we realize that these girls have so many confusions. They have so many issues, stresses, which are causing mental pressure on them. It is impacting their mental and physical health. We have got many counseling sessions with our students regarding all these issues, and have tried to solve them. So it is very necessary that we teach our students to be more self-confident. They should be able to take decisions, enabling decision-making among students, among youth, not students. Students, I say because I have been interacting with the students so much. So enabling decision making among the youth, then of course the spirit of like love, sympathy, empathy, all these are the values which need to be brought to our students. Then how can we bring ourselves closer to value education? How to impart this value education? You must be wondering as to this speaker has been saying so many things about values. She talked about the Besant and then how we can impart this value education. We have seen that there are many causes of value degeneration, because when we know the causes of value degeneration, only then we can find how to remove those causes, how to teach the youth value education. The causes of value degeneration are again many. You see that after globalization, materialism and consumerism has increased, selfishness has increased, me only. Now we find that mostly people think about themselves. I come across people who are thinking about them. So how it will benefit me, not how it will benefit my college, my society, my community, my state, my nation. My nation is a faraway thing. So this is selfishness, me only. Then lack of social sensitiveness, the way people upload different types of videos on social media, they show that people have become so insensitive. Somebody is getting beaten up, some mishappening is going on, and people are making videos and either broadcasting them live or uploading them on social media. We also see that there is a social and political indiscipline and corruption, and there are cultural effects of joint families breaking up. Culture plays an important role in value education. Value education is part of socialization, and socialization happens within the society, within the culture. And this is why we find that in every culture, there are different sets of values which are passed on. Although there are certain universal values like honesty, truth, love, empathy, all these are universal values which are passed on from one generation to another by the process of socialization. Then there are psychological reasons also of degeneration of values. People today are facing identity crisis. After globalization, things have changed so much that people are losing their identity. Those people who have gone to different countries, other countries, to stay there, there they find themselves facing different kinds of problems. There is racism, there is distinction due to color. So many things are there. That identity crisis also we see is happening. And this is why you see there has been a study which says that because of this identity crisis after globalization, people are resorting to religion to find their identity. We see youth going to temples, going to religious places more than we used to see earlier. Like when I was young, I used to visit temple, but very seldom. But now when I go to temple, I see that there are many young girls and boys who are there to worship, to pray. It isn't that they are searching for God. They are searching for themselves. And this identity crisis, this search for themselves, they don't know as to where they should go, whom they should turn to. And that is why they turn to religion. Then a very significant cause of value degeneration has been impact of negative media. If you see television today, especially OTT, online जो TV channels hai, if you see them, I am surprised as to what kind of language, what kind of scenes are being displayed on the screen. And it is open to all, to a 3-year-old child, to a 13-year-old teenager, to a 23-year-old youth, and even to a 63-year-old person. It is open to all. So we have to look at it and find the reasons of degeneration of values in all these reasons, causes, and then we have to rectify them. We have to rectify them so that we can teach our youth not only moral values, but social values also, respect, tolerance, discipline, empathy, educational values, knowledge and discipline, which is nowadays lacking amongst our students. They are least interested in attending classes. In a class of 100, there will be not more than 50 students on a day. Next day, there will be a different set of 50 students. So it has become a problem for us to have students' attendance in the class. So this has happened after this COVID period because of these online classes. So knowledge and discipline, these are the most sought after qualities, values during the student era. But nowadays, this is not happening. Then, of course, we have to teach our students religious values, and this will include respect and understanding. Then political values, of course, honesty and patriotism, not jingoism. And all these values are incomplete until we talk of moral values about truth, love, etc. Then who will impart? Now we come to the best part as to how it will happen. Who will impart? Of course, when we talk of socialization, we say that a child interacts with his family first. So home is the place. When a student sits in my class, I can see her whole family in her personality. And many a times we tell them that you represent your home, you represent your college, you represent the community from which you are coming. And so you have to learn those values so that you can represent them in a just manner. So home is the first place where mother, father, and other relatives, then community, and then school, college, of course, where we are concerned. If a teacher goes to a class which is at 10:30, then she or he cannot tell the students to come at 10. So discipline has to be taught to students, commitment has to be taught to students through example. If I want my staff to come at the right time, then I have to be in the college at the right time. If I tell them that something is not right and they should not do this, then I should also not be doing this. So setting the example, leading by example. This is how in school, college, at home, we can teach our students the values. We have heard this story so many times that घंटी बजती है और पापा से मिलने कोई आया है, वो बच्चे से कहते हैं वो आए होंगे, उनसे कह देना हम घर पे नहीं है. तो हमने बच्चे को पहला पाठ पढ़ा दिया झूठ बोलने का, और उसके बाद जब वो बच्चा बाहर चला जाता है घूमने के लिए और घर आके कहता है क्लास करने गया था, पढ़ने के लिए गया था, एक्स्ट्रा क्लास था, तो ये झूठ तो उसने अपने पिताजी से सीखा. तो हमने उसको उदाहरण के जरिए से झूठ बोलना सिखाया. तो हमको अगर उसको सही सिखाना है तो हमको सामने से आकर उसको लीड करना होगा. I will tell you one example. When my daughter was appearing for this PMT examination, For 2 years, there was no cable connection in our house. हमने जो भी टीवी हम देखते थे वो न्यूज देखते थे, डीडी दूरदर्शन के चैनल हम देखते थे. That is all. The day her exams were over and I knew that she will get selected in MBBS. That day I got the cable connection. So अगर मैं ये करती कि हम तो टीवी देख रहे हैं और तुम बैठकर पढ़ो, तो ये गलत होता. तो इसलिए कहीं ना कहीं हमको सेक्रीफाइस करना पड़ता है जिससे कि हम अपने बच्चों को सिखा सकें. There are so many stories. आपकी जिंदगी में भी ऐसी बहुत सारी स्टोरीज होंगी. Then the source of value education की अगर हम बात करें तो religion and books. These are also part of it. We had talked about religion earlier, and books, of course, nobody reads books now, but books are a very good source of value education. Whether it is Premchand or it is Paulus Buck, all books give us some message. They teach something to us. And of course, our constitution, if we are a citizen of an independent country, and me being a student of political science, if I don't talk about constitution teaching us some value, then it would be wrong. So one source of value education is constitution also, which teaches us liberty, equality, fraternity. In the very first page, in the preamble itself, there is liberty, equality, fraternity. So these are core values which make us good citizen, good person. So the purpose is to become a good person, to make a good person out of the youth. And that can be done through example, reading of right books, celebration of national days. We celebrate so many days. We celebrate Dr. Annie Besant's birthday. We have a committee, which is Committee for the Progression of Annie Besant Spirit, which keeps on organizing programs throughout the year. We celebrate Youth Day, Swami Vivekananda's birthday, and we talk about Swami Vivekananda and his life and how he insisted that a student can learn only when he or she is physically also strong. Then morning prayers, we just had a prayer, and this prayer invokes so much of emotion in us, because when we say these words, these are not only words, these are feelings. And when we do this, only then we take our students, our youth, from classroom to community and initiate them into right path through all these methods. Thank you. I have taken a lot of time of yours. So many things are still left, but again, speaking within the constraints of time is also very important, and one must have to learn it. I am sorry because I have been having this cold cough and a little bit of fever. So sorry for inconvenience.
Yeah.
Thank you, Suvrina ji, for giving me the time, and thank you, Pradeep Mahapatra ji, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Raji. Yes, you said that it's not about what we are going to create, it's how we are going to create. If the change has to be brought in, the how part was really marvelous. Setting right examples so that the youngsters could follow us is more important. And I think each of us sitting here has a role to play here. It has nothing to do with the younger age, older age, or something like that. Sometimes little children bring in so much of values. If we are, a bit observant, some things they learn from animals, plants, their little friends, and their imaginations. So valuing that value inculcation is so important in today's world. Thank you so much for such a simple and setting an example kind of thing. You narrated 2 stories which are really very important, impactful. Some simple stories of our life bring huge change in our thoughts, feelings, and actions. So sweet of you. So sweet of you. As I said in the beginning, you're the right person to talk about it because, it is very practical. You have done it. And when you do it, you can vouch for it. You can say it. So that's really nice. I'm sure many of us sitting here would be contributing to, building up, right attitude within the family, within the neighborhood, the sphere they go and impact. Let us continue to do that. And I'm really glad. I would probably, whenever I'm free or I'm visiting Banaras, I would love to go and, attend some of the classes you are conducting for this value education. I would really love to participate in some of the workshops you're conducting, because we all learn through each other's workshops and teachings. Thank you so, so much. And I don't think we would be doing a question answer, because it is not a topic wherein we have to question or get the answers things. But yes, if anyone has a case study or has a problem statement, I think we will take it up. They are most welcome to reach out to me or Rachna ji or Pradeep Mahapatra ji. We have a dedicated email ID where people can write. And probably in the as you would be knowing, there is a quarterly e-newsletter happening. Everybody is aware. I keep on sending that, right? Maybe one article from you, Rachna ji, on this value education, if you could, send me sometime. I would love to include it in the youth page. There's a youth page, right? Probably quickly do it this time. We will publish it in the youth page this time, because it is still a youth.
Yeah, I have got something, and I will go through it, edit it, and then I will.
Please email to that particular ID. Let us publish it this time, and that will be, I think, a good tribute to Dr. Annie Besant, because we're releasing it in October. Okay, that's so nice. So that is it from the today's evening meeting. So we will close the session with the ending prayer. Would you like to do the ending prayer, or you would allow me to do it? Rachna ji, would you like to recite a prayer?
No, you do this.
Okay, fine. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukhabhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you all. See you all soon. And let us keep participating in such things. Thank you all. Good evening.